Most people watched this interview and moved on. Nobody caught what actually happened in the final 30 seconds when Obama said one sentence and the entire room went silent. The aftermath hit hard and fast. By midnight, networks were cutting into programming. By morning, the clip had been viewed over 27 million times. Trump's team was issuing statements while the single sentence echoed across every platform. But to understand how two former presidents reached that frozen moment, we must move between what happened on stage and what had been building for years behind the scenes. The studio lights burned sharper than usual that night, pushed 2 stops brighter by a director who felt the unusual tension in the room. The air felt compressed, heavy with the weight of history sitting across from history. Obama sat already centered, completely still, scanning the space with quiet command. The crew moved with heightened precision. Everyone knew this was not an ordinary segment. Trump entered with characteristic dominance. He walked onto the stage with slow, heavy strides, shoulders squared, claiming every inch of the floor as his own. He paused at the desk, adjusted his tie with a deliberate tug, then spread wide in the chair, legs planted, torso filling the space like he owned the entire studio. His eyes locked onto Obama with flat superiority. "You know, Barack, your time is over. People are tired of the same old lectures from the past," he said, launching the first volley with a familiar grin. From there, the dominance barrage unfolded rapidly. He attacked ratings and relevance, claiming Obama's influence had faded. He delivered personal jabs about legacy and decisions. Power claims followed, assertions that only one man in the room truly understood winning. Dismissal came last, painting the other as out of touch. Obama stayed completely silent. He absorbed every line without reaction, the stillness stretching longer with each new attack. The longer the quiet held, the more Trump's words seemed to bounce back heavier. A woman in the third row gripped her armrest. A man beside her leaned forward, breath held. The silence itself became a force. Then Obama shifted slightly. His voice dropped lower when he finally spoke. "Interesting. You walked in talking about winners." The present moment froze as the first layer hit the screen. An old clip of Trump making statements that directly contradicted his current lecture on leadership. He dismissed it instantly as fake news from years ago. Obama countered with calm precision, connecting the words to patterns that refused to fade. The audience reacted with a sharp inhale. Brief silence followed. Back in the past, years earlier, private conversations and preparations had laid groundwork that now surfaced. In the present, Obama reached under the desk slowly. He placed a folder on the table with surgical care. Official records, dates, and documents waited inside. Trump grabbed for it. Obama's hand came down first, firm and controlled. The camera caught the tremor. Trump denied everything. Obama responded with measured facts. One woman in the 5th row covered her mouth. Another man slowly shook his head. The timeline appeared on the LED screen, alternating between past public appearances and present contradictions. Dates aligned with gaps, travel records, and public silences. Trump tried talking over the visuals. Obama slowed even more, letting each connection land. The inventory of the record was becoming impossible to dismiss. Murmurs moved through the crowd. Another loaded pause bridged past and present. In the past, unguarded moments had been captured. In the present, the audio played. Trump's own raw voice from backstage, revealing the strategy behind the attacks. He claimed editing. Obama showed the forensic verification. Faces in the audience registered the shift. The witnesses emerged from backstage. The first, a former staffer tied to scheduling and messaging, gave exact procedural details. "I rehearsed walking away 6 times in the parking garage before I came inside. They said, voice steady but weighted." Trump attacked their credibility. The staffer stood firm. Their closing line landed quietly. "That belief cost me more than any lawsuit ever could have." The second witness, from the inner circle bound by NDA, spoke with visible emotion. Their throat worked before words came. Fingers gripped until colorless. A tear fell without being wiped. Trump shouted about betrayal. The witness replied with quiet power. "I stayed quiet because I was afraid, but I was more afraid of what it meant if I never spoke." The audience broke slowly in waves. One person stood, then more, Hands came together in deliberate, raw clapping, for truth stepping into the light. Obama looked directly at Trump. "Let's take an inventory," he said, the word carrying weight. "The inventory is complete, and every item points in one direction." Trump's collapse built through accumulation. His breathing turned audible and ragged, chest rising fast. Hands trembled, then gripped the armrests. Posture shrank from dominant to defensive. Eyes darted wildly. Jaw clenched and worked side to side. Sweat appeared at the hairline and was wiped away. Voice cracked, weakened, trailed into nothing. Denial became accusation, then complaint, bravado, and finally silence. Obama delivered the final challenge. "You keep saying this is fake. So prove it, right now, in front of everyone." Trump opened his mouth. No sound came. The single sentence Obama had spoken earlier still hung in the air, the one that had shifted everything. One calm line that exposed the gap between performance and reality. The room had gone completely silent in that moment, every person processing what they had just seen. Backstage chaos erupted immediately after. A camera operator kept filming the chairs long after the cut. A floor director stood with headset half off. Trump moved down the corridor, like a man walking through a house already on fire. Obama walked the opposite way in measured silence. The contrast defined the night. Clips exploded across platforms within minutes, segmented into 12 pieces. The one sentence and the following silence became the viral core. News anchors replayed the moment, letting the inventory reference sit, without commentary. Trump's online responses escalated in fury, but every denial sat beside the raw footage. Public conversation moved from politics to the visible psychology of power meeting accountability. The inventory of the evening had been taken in public view. The scaffolding supporting the attacks had crumbled. The story continued burning. People cross-referenced timelines and statements for months. No convincing counter-evidence fully emerged. The silence after that one sentence remained louder than any speech. Power doesn't always fall with volume. Sometimes one sentence is enough to make the entire room go silent and reveal what was always underneath. If this changed how you see these confrontations, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The next confrontation is already building. Some sentences and some silences reveal more than years of noise ever could.